You sit down on your couch, open up the Netflix app, and face a wall of hundreds of comedy specials. The problem you're trying to solve in this moment isn't figuring out what is objectively funny. You are trying to figure out how to spend your remaining attention. When an interface presents you with an endless menu, your brain freezes. The sheer volume of options creates decision paralysis. You end up scrolling for 20 minutes, finally settle on a special that completely clashes your current mood, and go to bed feeling more exhausted than when you sat down. To actually enjoy streaming comedy, you have to stop trusting the algorithm's hype and start calculating emotional return on investment. For decades, major comedy specials lived almost exclusively on premium cable channels like HBO. But as modern streaming platforms began funding their own exclusive originals and luring away veteran comics, the entire landscape shifted. Today, Netflix's massive library of exclusive releases has effectively supplanted those traditional channels as the primary home for the genre, but their recommendation engine is quite blunt. It pushes the newest releases to the top of your feed, completely blind to your current psychological state. You need to evaluate these specials based on cognitive bandwidth, the actual mental energy you have left in the tank after a long day. We can bypass the algorithm entirely by sorting this massive catalog into 3 distinct categories. Each requires a specific input from you, and each delivers a specific trade-off. There is a massive difference between actively engaging with challenging art and putting something on so your house isn't quiet while you fold laundry. Picking the wrong category for your current bandwidth turns entertainment into a chore. You have to audit your own energy before you press play. This matrix maps out those choices, plotting cognitive load on the vertical axis against tone on the horizontal. Up here in the top right are the provocateurs. These specials demand high cognitive load and lean into an abrasive tone. Watching these requires a specific input. You have to be willing to engage with combative stage personas and heavy socio-political friction. Bill Burr thrives in this space. He brings a loud, volatile energy to the stage, directly attacking sensitive cultural topics. The outcome is a sharp, cathartic teardown of modern hypocrisy. Chris Rock commands this same high-friction territory. He uses aggressive self-deprecation and tackles controversial issues head-on. The collateral damage of this style is that it often relies on mean-spirited framing or aggressive crowd work to land its punches. If you want intellectual friction, this quadrant delivers. But if you are trying to escape real-world conflict, this material will actively stress you out. Moving over to the top left, we hit the vulnerable deconstructors. This is still high cognitive load, but the tone shifts inward to deep introspection. The input here is heavy. You are signing up to process deep personal trauma, mental health struggles, and highly unconventional formats. Bo Burnham's pandemic special is the peak of this form. He isolated himself to create a musical deconstruction of his own fragile mental state. The result is a soul-bearing confession, an art piece that favors raw emotional honesty over the standard rhythm of setups and punchlines. Maria Bamford uses her anxious, slightly off-balance stage persona to completely deconstruct the format of stand-up itself. And John Mulaney stripped away his polished, nice guy image to deliver a bracingly raw exploration of his drug relapse and rehab. These specials offer deep human connection, but they demand your full cognitive capacity. They intentionally keep you off balance and fail entirely if you try to watch them in the background. Down here in the lower left, we drop the cognitive load entirely. These are the low-stakes observers. The required input is minimal. You just sit back and accept slower-paced storytelling and deadpan observations about mundane life. Adam Sandler's recent work captures this perfectly. He projects an unassuming, deeply relaxed vibe, leaning into cozy and occasionally juvenile humor. The outcome is a warm psychological reset. You get to laugh at the highly relatable realities of aging, parenting, and domestic life. Tig Notaro excels here too, sharing wry, joyful observations about her daily routine without ever raising her heart rate. You do not need to maintain a defensive posture or understand current cultural meta-narratives to enjoy these sets. The trade-off is simple. You gain ultimate comfort and a mental break while sacrificing intellectual bite and water cooler relevance. This table translates that theory into a practical routing guide, matching your current psychological state to the exact content you need. If you are the escapist, your brain is fried after a long day, you route directly to the low-stakes observers. You accept that you are choosing pure comfort over challenging art. If you are the empath, seeking catharsis and willing to spend emotional energy to feel seen, you route to the vulnerable deconstructors. And if you are the cultural provocateur, actively looking for high-energy friction and societal critique, you route straight to the provocateurs. By matching the comedy you watch to your specific psychological segment, you can finally guarantee that the hour you spend streaming actually pays off. Netflix's default algorithm ignores all of this. It operates on the blind assumption that you always want whatever was uploaded yesterday. When you bypass that algorithmic bloat, the chaos of the home screen disappears. You make a single, confident choice. There is no objective best comedy special. There is only the right special for the exact mindset you are in right now. Audit your own cognitive bandwidth tonight before you even reach for the remote. By actively managing your attention, you take back control of your downtime. You ensure every hour you spend streaming actually serves you.